The Denver Broncos just got great news about the 12th overall draft pick in April's draft. And George Paton and Sean Payton just got the perfect warning sign about what not to do in this year's draft with what just happened in Chicago with Justin Fields. We're going to break down all the news of the day. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ben. I break down all things Denver sports. Helps me out a lot if you like and subscribe. So looking at the news of the day, all of my friends who are Chicago Bears fans love Justin Fields, and they said there is no way in the world that Justin Fields gets traded for less than a first or second round draft pick. They might be cocky and be like, yeah, we'd take a second round draft pick as long as it was in the first 15 picks of the second round. Well, the Chicago Bears got a 6th round draft pick for Justin Fields to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is just bonkers that is how far he had fallen. I remember just even a few years ago, folks saying that the Broncos really whiffed and there's no way we should have taken Pat Surtain over him. And now you get a 6th round draft pick. That's essentially that's barely more than you would have gotten if you had cut him, right? And had you just cut him, perhaps you could have gotten compensatory picks for him. So now he is going to Pittsburgh. I think it is hilarious that now Russell Wilson was feeling all high on his oats or whatever that saying might be. He was feeling his oats, right? That they shipped off Kenny Pickett. He's Mr. Unlimited doing his unboxing, black and yellow videos. Yet now he's going to be competing with Justin Fields, and I would not be surprised whatsoever if Justin Fields ends up being the starting quarterback for Pittsburgh. And then do they cut Russell Wilson? Because why keep him around as a backup, right? So that is just absolutely crazy. And if you look here right now to add to the absurdity of this, that what the Denver Broncos are paying Jarrett Stidham for 1 year is more than the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be paying for both Fields and Russell Wilson. So I think that's great for them. They have a chance to figure out which one of those dudes works out. So why this is good news for the Denver Broncos. Take a look at this draft class, the 2021 draft class, and just look at some of those top quarterbacks who you heard the word generational talent thrown around, just like we hear it now for Caleb Williams. And look at this. You have Trey Lance. The 49ers moved heaven and earth to trade and get him. Traded for a 4th round draft pick, right? Barely got that. Mac Jones, 6th round draft pick. Now he bounced around again. And now Justin Fields, a 6th round draft pick, which if he plays 51% of the snaps, it is a 4th round draft pick. But all of these guys who were can't miss guys, you're just trading for pennies on the dollar just a few years later when that pick could have gotten you tremendous value had they not gone at the quarterback position. So just like looking here at that 2021 draft, and this is the draft again that you heard those words, generational talent. Trevor Lawrence, how generational is his talent when he is yet to make any moves in the playoffs despite having some talent, some coaches who seem to be able to get the most out of him. And this year, rather than adding more talent for him, they go out and get Mac Jones. So do you think if he truly was a generational talent, you trade assets that could be used to build up talent around him to then go get another quarterback? Zach Wilson, you couldn't give him away. I doubt the Jets could even get anywhere close to a 6th round draft pick for him. Obviously, we just showed the 49ers got a 4th, and then here the Chicago Bears getting a 6th. And then none of these other dudes you even know. So why I think this is great news for the Denver Broncos is that we see the Minnesota Vikings are loading up right now to make a trade into the top 5 is the current rumor that they are going to trade into that 4th round draft pick with the Arizona Cardinals to get JJ McCarthy. And so for the first time in NFL history, we would have quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, 4, which is great news because that means that you now have dudes who really probably should be top 5 talent get bumped down further to us at the 12th pick. So I really hope the Broncos are paying attention to this. Matt Miller and several others are the ones on that story that, again, the Vikings are looking to make a move for that 4th pick, which would really explain why the Chargers were able to trade Keenan Allen and why they did that, because they are expecting to land Marvin Harrison Jr., the wideout from Ohio State, who a lot of people think is actually the best player going into this draft, and the Chargers are going to be able to steal him at 5. I did a video a few weeks back about I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is an absolute diva, and I know all wide receivers are, but I think that will be, and maybe I think Harbaugh could, get him in line and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not at all upset that we don't get Marvin Harrison Jr. I think that really could blow up a locker room. So just looking at this, I really hope the Denver Broncos make a mental note of this, that all these like teams that traded the farm to move up, we don't have the draft capital, you guys, to trade the farm to move up. And so if JJ McCarthy falls to us at 12, let's take him. Like if that's who Sean Payton truly has fallen in love with. But I really believe that it is important for us to stick to our guns and not trade the farm for a quarterback, because like I showed the data a few weeks ago, you only hit on 36% of first-round quarterback drafted, or even with their team for a second contract. And none of them in the top 5 have ever won a Super Bowl with their team. Obviously, Mahomes went on and did, but I think that's just a really important thing for us to remember. We do not want to trade the farm. This QB carousel has been crazy to see all the moves and how many of those guys are first-round draft picks who didn't hit with their team, who are now reshuffling around. And it's just interesting here as well to see just really what Sean Payton is planning on doing. There's no way we have a couple extra 5th-round draft picks now. We could have sent the Bears a 5th-round draft pick for Justin Fields and done a flyer on him, but we know that Sean Payton has in his mind, here's my system, here's what they need to be able to do to run that. And the only 2 quarterbacks in the league who have 100 interceptions and sacks are Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. Like, they are the same exact type of player. They hold the ball. They're amazing when the play breaks down, but they are not running the original play as designed. And I think that is a really awesome move, that the Broncos have not settled at that quarterback position. So yeah, you look here at the big board, the NFL draft board, and if you have quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, 4, you then are bumping guys down who are much better. The Ringer has a great thing here where they think Jaden Daniels is the 10th best player in this draft. So is he going at number 2? That means the number 2 player is bumping down, and you have to scroll forever until you find JJ McCarthy. He thinks JJ McCarthy's like the 28th best player. So if he goes, that's a further push in talent, and you're hearing rumors now that the Giants might take Michael Penix. And so again, you got to scroll way far to find him. So now you are talking about the Denver Broncos landing a Brock Bowers, who's the 5th overall talent in this draft. Like, how crazy would that be if Brock Bowers falls to us at 12? And if not him, maybe we get an edge rusher who should be a top 10 guy falling to us at 12. So I think that is fantastic. The other thing is, and maybe it's me just like coping with the fact that JJ is probably not a possibility for the Broncos, has been, who are other possibilities and what could we do? I'm really starting to like Spencer Rattler. I watched that Netflix documentary on him when he was a senior in high school, and it followed him around, and just a really talented guy from Arizona, lived in Arizona, obviously played most recently for South Carolina. And if you look at his height and his combine numbers, very, very similar to Drew Brees. And if you look at his some of his the ball placement and the ball skill here, obviously he's not 6'2", but man, that ball just pops out of his hand. And watching these throws at Pro Day, you can't tell me like that doesn't look a little a little Mahomesy to you. Like that's exciting to see, especially this one here going left and just watching this ball pop out of his hand like that. Now, I do know the caveat to that is my favorite unpadded throws of all time were watching Zach Wilson, and now, yeah, you wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. But it seems as if the Denver Broncos want to pick a quarterback with number 12. It's going to be Bo Nix or it's going to be Spencer Rattler. I think JJ is going off the board, probably at number 4, and I think that is a reach because if you have 4 quarterbacks go in the top 4, only one of them statistically is actually going to hit. And the only time that has ever not been the case was, like, you got to go all the way back to the Eli Manning draft when it was Eli, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, all in that same draft. Obviously, the Elway draft had like Elway, Marino, Kelly, the guy who started for the Patriots for a lot of years. But I just think this is great news for the Broncos. I really hope we don't reach. If I'm off base on this, please let me know in the comments. I read every single comment, and that's probably my favorite part about doing this. Broncos country, I will keep us all informed, and let's giddy up. This one's for Justin Fields. Oh, 2 in a row. It's my first time. Let's go.